Let me ask you this. How'd you like to be able to make Taco Bell in your own home? You know, kind of like Davante Adams style, except you actually have to make it. Because now that is a possibility. It's a reality. Taco Bell has teamed up with Kraft Heinz to release a pair of new cooking kits that allow you to make their iconic crunch wraps and quesadillas in your very own home.
Some at-home tacos. People do that pretty often. I knew they have the packets.
Yeah.
I've used the packets of their seasoning before.
Yes. But
does it taste like Taco Bell? It tastes like any other at-home seasoning.
Yeah. I've similarly done the same thing. It doesn't scream Taco Bell.
It doesn't at all.
But maybe when you make even more of the ingredients Taco Bell-ish, it'll make it taste more like Taco Bell. So now, exclusively, it looks like at Walmart, nationwide, and online, you can get a Taco Bell at-home Crunchwrap Supreme Kit or Chipotle Chicken Quesadilla Kit for the cost of $6.98. You think that's a good deal?
Well, it depends what all comes in it.
All right. It's everything except the meat. So tortillas, the shells, sauces, seasonings, and it's enough to make four servings, and it's got everything you need, it sounds like, except the ground beef or chicken, sour cream, lettuce, and tomatoes.
So all the good stuff.
All the stuff that actually...
So it has what? 4 quesadillas in there? And some seasoning?
Like 4 tortillas or shells, and then sauces and seasonings. Yeah.
That's not a good deal.
For $6.98.
You can get like a huge pack of quesadillas for like $3.
Actually, when you
this is a
spread it
horrible
out,
deal.
yeah, this doesn't actually sound like you're getting a real good deal at all, does it?
This sounds like nothing. This sounds like you should go and get some quesadillas from Kroger. And then you should go
some
through
tortillas.
You should go through the Taco Bell drive-thru and you should get some of their sauces.
Yeah.
You don't save those.
You can walk into Taco Bell and take the Diablo sauce as much as you want for free.
Walk out.
You think the employees are going to say something even if you didn't buy anything? Yeah.
And then I
was just in the drive-thru with somebody in the back seat or whatever.
You go and you buy the 69-cent Taco Bell seasoning packet.
Yep.
A huge pack of tortillas for like $2, Kroger brand, whatever you want. And then you go to Taco Bell, grab some Diablo sauce, and now you have the at-home DIY
And
kit.
even using the gas to make multiple stops, you're still going to be saving money.
Saving money, and you'll have way more.
I can't believe they're doing this. They fooled us. But they can't fool us.
No.
We're too savvy.
But someone's going to buy this kit and think that there's meat in there.
Yeah, that's
lettuce.
That's the
sour
trouble.
Cream.
There's literally none of the filling. It gives you the ingredients to make the outside of a quesadilla,
which is the worst ingredients. It's the most useless stuff they have.
The most easily attainable, the cheapest.
The cheapest stuff.
You won't hear a show like this anywhere else. And that's probably for the best. The worst of the riot. Radio U.
The playoffs are set. All the matchups are ready to go. Isaiah, what is your top takeaway from this weekend of football?
You know, it was all pretty set for me. I mean, my Cleveland Brownies locked a long time ago. So for me, I was watching this weekend to see who the Brownies were gonna face off against.
Yeah.
Many of the things that I assumed would happen did. The Buffalo Bills squeaked in as I thought they would. But getting the 2 seed is a huge switch up.
Oh, that's a big bonus for them, yeah.
In the AFC, that's a huge help for them, as now that propels their likelihood to make it to the AFC Championship game, to the Super Bowl, as many Bills fans would say they aspire to go. So for them, it looks good for the Bills. On the NFC side, my biggest takeaway, the Eagles are completely falling apart. In disbelief, in disarray of what has happened to them in the second half of the season. And the Cowboys continue to roll, getting to that 2 seed. So both sides of the brackets pretty much played out as I thought they would. And I know you're a happy boy this morning.
I'm feeling great today. The Packers clinched a playoff spot. Yeah! Isaiah and I are such on the same page. I didn't even have to do this. Isaiah's celebrating too.
Well, that's what I do for you. You know, you would never hit my Browns hotkey.
But yeah, I can't do that.
Because I hit it. I always hit it before you have to.
You got an itchy trigger finger on that.
I do.
Listen to this. It feels so good. The Packers are going to the playoffs, and I couldn't be happier because we get the Dallas Cowboys in our first playoff game. And can I say this? And this is not just about the Packers game, but the NFC in general. I think all of the wild card teams are going to win because you look at it.
Really? And which side? The NFC or AFC?
In the NFC.
NFC.
Because if you look at the NFC, all of the wild card teams have the superior coach and the superior quarterback. Obviously, the most egregious would be the Packers having Jordan Love and Matt LaFleur clearly outclass what the Cowboys have. So, yeah, I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling good going into the playoffs this week. It feels good to be a Green Bay fan and just roll from one franchise quarterback to another. Also, it should be, speaking of franchise quarterbacks, wouldn't it be nice if the Steelers had one? Because somehow they're in the playoffs with Mason Rudolph, Kenny Pickett, and Mitch Trubisky leading them there. How's that possible? I think it's forgotten. One, it's just so common the Steelers make the playoffs. And two, because their game was on Saturday and they didn't have to win their way in on Sunday like some other teams. It's just crazy. What are the Steelers doing in the playoffs? How do they do this every year?
See, as a Browns fan, as you know, my disdain for the Steelers as always continues. But I will say, the only way I can refer to the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I know this firsthand because I'm watching them pretty much every single week, hoping they lose, but they are the cockroach that you cannot kill.
That's right.
No matter what it looks like, no matter what, they want to fire Mike Tomlin halfway through the season.
Yeah.
They want to get rid of Kenny Pickett. They want to get rid of Matt Canada. They want to get rid of Najee Harris. If you would have listened, you would have thought that they were 2-12.
Mm-hmm. You would have thought they were the Patriots this year.
Yes.
Who they lost to and still somehow made the playoffs.
But they are, yet again, the cockroach you can't kill. The Pittsburgh Steelers and Mike Tomlin, if there's one thing I know about them is they are going to finish above 500, no matter who is on their team.
Mm-hmm.
But they did. TJ Watt went down with an injury late in that game, and that does not look good for them, as they're going to face off against the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo, a wild matchup there. Josh Allen may throw 4 interceptions to that defense, but they may also win the game.
That's right. Let us know what your football takeaways are for the weekend. Your headlines, 8772 Radio U.
Nobody does it better. The Riot Radio U.
A man in Alabama, he crashed his car outside of a Bass Pro Shops, and then he did the thing that I feel like everybody has considered in their mind anytime you've been in a Bass Pro Shops or a Cabela's or anything like that. You see the big fish tank in the middle, the big waterfall, and you're like, what would it be like to go swimming in there? And this guy did it. His name is George Owens, 42 years old. Took all his clothes off, jumped in the fish tank at Bass Pro Shops. There's video of him yelling something unintelligible. It's pretty wild.
Yeah, it's one of the crazier videos I've seen thus far into 2024. As we're just 8 days in.
Yeah.
But I would say this is one of the worst things someone's done yet.
It's a decently high bar to clear for the rest of the year. But am I accurate though? When you go into Bass Pro Shops or Cabela's or any of those places that have the big fish tank, do you not think, like, has that ever crossed your mind? I wonder what it'd be like to swim in there.
For me, I've never thought to actually dive in because you got to think that there's some animals in there.
Yeah.
Some fish in there. Usually for me, it's like, do I want to go to jail today?
Yeah.
Typically not.
It's just one of those things you picture in your mind, and sane people go, well, as fun as that sounds, not going to do it because there's consequences, and there's just probably things you don't think about. But George Owens, man, he put that side of the sane side of his brain to bed on this day, if there is a sane side.
He gets completely naked, eh?
Yeah, he's
that's what I thought.
Stripped all the way down.
I
don't think the fishes were not excited about that.
Or what was going on there.
Yeah, he might have left his underwear on.
I don't think he did.
It's difficult to tell.
I think he's completely naked.
It's difficult.
And it must be freezing cold in there.
And I don't want to look. I don't want to look too
that water must be
closely.
ice cold.
But you got to wonder what drove him to do this. And you have to remember too that he crashed his car first. He crashed his car outside the Bass Pro Shops. then goes in and gets naked and jumps in the fish tank. So what kind of wild day was he having?
And you got to think after that, like, is he married? If so, what is this conversation like with his wife afterwards?
Yeah. What is the rest of his family? He's got to have some people in his life.
What's the first phone call you make after this incident? You go to jail, obviously, and then you get out of jail. And what's the first phone call you make? If you call your grandmother, you call your mother, you call your father. Like, who are you calling? And what are you saying?
Either you got to call your mom because you know she's going to be disappointed, but she still loves you, or you call one of your bros, right?
And you say, what? I crashed my car?
Yeah, because you know, like you got to call
say?
one of your ride or dies, like just your closest friend, because he's the one that's going to get you out of a jam. You know what I mean? Your wife's just going to be upset. This guy's 42, he's married, his wife's not going to leave him, but she's going to be upset.
I think that's the first person you call. I think you rip off the Band-Aid. You call your wife.
You just get it out of there.
And you think, hey, something weird happened today. Yeah. I'm going to come home and it's going to be kind of shocking what I'm about to say, but I want you to be prepared that I'm about to knock your socks off with this story.
It says he was charged with public lewdness, disorderly conduct, resisting arrest, assault on a police officer.
Oh, goodness.
2 counts of first-degree criminal mischief. Oh, he was being mischievous, all right. And 2 counts of reckless endangerment. So...
he's going to jail for a good minute, it sounds like.
Sounds like. So now you know, at least now you have the answer to the question, what happens when you jump in a Bass Pro Shops fish tank? All that.
If podcast awards were ever a thing, this show wouldn't win any. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
A gal on TikTok has gone viral for a sticky situation. I don't even want to say she's gotten herself into, kind of. But she's asking the internet, asking TikTok for help. She claims she's on a 28-hour road trip with a guy. And somewhere along the way, seemingly early on, he confessed his love for her. What do you do?
I'm in danger.
It's a long car ride.
Yeah. Let's look at this from both sides of the coin. You're the gal. Since she's asking for help, assuming she does not feel the same way, what do you do?
I mean, you got to ride it out. I mean, right off the rip, when he says that, you got to be like, we're not doing that on this road trip here.
You got to be honest.
You think that let me ask you this, brother, because you got to think in your mind. You think I agreed to a 28-hour road trip with you, and we've gotten this far as friends, and there's been no move made on either behalf. You think that we probably are not compatible at that point?
Well, maybe, but I think you also have to, for her, she's got to look in the mirror and think about the signals she's sending. Agreeing to a one-on-one 28-hour road trip.
That's clearly friend behavior.
It's not friend behavior.
Yes, it's friend behavior. Are you out of your mind? Don't you think that if she's agreeing to a 28-hour road trip with you, that she by now would have said, I like you?
If it's one-on-one, some might say that sounds like a nice long week trip. But you don't go 28-hour road trips with people you're just friends with, unless they're clearly your friends.
Which is, I think, what it has to be.
Well, it must not be clear because he just confessed his love for her.
Like, if you're going on a 28-hour road trip with somebody, you are best friends for life at this point. Like, you're not just going, like, this isn't like some 3-month-old friend. We've been friends for a couple of years if we're going on this huge road trip together.
Okay, that's fair. If they've been friends for a long time.
Unless you're just buddying up for 28 hours with somebody you just met a month ago, it feels as if, brother, you've probably been in the friend zone for what feels like 3 years now. 28-hour road trip, I couldn't even imagine. There's very few people in my life I would go on a 28-hour road trip with. Like my mom, my dad, my brothers.
Oh, you mean
my girlfriend?
People you love?
Yeah. My best friend, my roommates. Like, there's very few even of my friends that would do that with, let alone someone that I have a crush on. I really would. That would be the time, and then to declare it. I mean, that's all-time high stakes.
So you would just look at him, you'd go, "We're not doing this."
Yeah, that's the only way.
This is not that kind of road trip.
Yeah,
you'd say.
No, right away. You had to shut it down right off the rip.
Yeah,
sorry.
You can't play coy. You can't.
Yeah.
You can't beat around the bush. Okay, now you're in her shoes. You just got shut down, or his shoes. You just got shut down, confessed your love, and you've got somewhere between 1 and 28 hours of a road trip with her.
Spin it back.
What do you mean?
Turn it around.
Turn it around?
Turn the car around, brother.
It's over.
Are you crazy? Now, let me ask you this. This is the next thing. Are you going to continue this friendship, or were you just in it because you had a crush on her?
Yeah.
Now that she has turned you down, are you still down for the 28-hour road trip as friends? Are you just friends? No. You're not down for it anymore.
For him, he needed to be prepared to hear no. If you can't confess that unless you're prepared to hear no. For me, if this happened, I would unbuckle the seatbelt, open the car door, barrel roll out of there.
Yeah, I mean,
it's her car now.
Realistically,
even if I owned it, it's her car. I will never see her face again. That car is her problem. She's abandoned in whatever country we're in, and I will walk home.
Yeah, just a bad idea overall from him.
Yeah,
horrible timing.
Yeah,
you should have told her this before you were 7 hours into the car ride, brother. It's too late now. If you were going to admit this after you've been waiting for years, whatever it is, you should have done that before.
You could have waited 28 more hours till it was over at least.
Or before the trip, man, and then you could have been like, you know what, cancel the trip, we're not going.
Either you could let the connection blossom, or maybe the 28 hours are over and you can tense either for you or for her. It's just not going to happen. Why not? You don't do it till the very end.
Radio U's Worst of the Riot podcast.
A new year brings a lot of new people to the gym, and it sounds like they might not just be working out, apparently. According to relationship expert Jessica Leone, she worries for you on your behalf. She warns that the gym, especially at this time of year, can also be a hotbed for affairs. She says this time of year particularly is a bad time for the beginnings of affairs, and even possibly more dangerous, or maybe more common, micro-cheating. We know what micro-cheating is, right?
I mean, of course.
It's blurring the line. It's not going all the way, but like the intention, the mindset of cheating may be there, even if it doesn't culminate in, so she warns that this could be a sign. You got to have your feelers up. You got to have your antenna aware that if your partner is going to the gym, or maybe yourself, maybe you're going to the gym and you want to stay faithful, this is a bad time of year for getting into some trouble with your relationship.
Yeah, I would say if you go to the gym and you have friends at the gym, that's one thing. But if you're like doing more than just being friends at the gym, your conversations are more than that, then obviously that is in the wrong.
Yeah.
We don't really have to go in depth and tell you what's wrong and what's right.
Yeah. I mean, you know.
But if you're on the other half of it, if your wife or husband is talking about somebody at the gym a lot, and they're doing a lot of things outside of the gym, then that's when you begin to get a little bit worried.
She says that part of the problem is that when you go to the gym and you're working out, that raises your testosterone levels, which that's going to make you more likely, like you're just feeling chemically more
Don't give me the chemical
yeah,
whatnot.
No, it's the testosterone's fault. Sorry, honey, the testosterone was just, I was working out, and so, I mean,
it's my body. I can't help my body. I don't want to hear it.
It's not an excuse. It's something to be aware of, especially personally for your own self, what you need to check if you're getting back into the gym. Obviously, I would say that if you're a routine gym goer already, then this is something that you don't need to worry about as much, because you already have your routine. You know how you feel. It's when it's a new thing, and maybe because you're going to the gym, you're also feeling better about yourself. Although for a lot of people, maybe it makes it feel worse. This is, I think, for the new gym goers, because it's a new group of people you could come in contact with. Again, feelings you may be not familiar with, because the testosterone levels are higher than you're used to, and all of a sudden, whether it actually culminates in anything or not, your mindset is different, and that can be trouble.
Let's talk about peacocking. One of my favorites, one of my favorite terms that I've used many a times. But peacocking in the gym is what they say, micro cheating. If you're peacocking, you might be wondering what is peacocking.
Yeah, I think I have an idea.
That's when you're running a little faster than you usually would, lifting a little heavier weights, in an effort to prove that you're strong and a suitable candidate for the lady across the room from you.
Yeah.
If you're peacocking at the gym, what are you doing, man?
You're hot dogging. I guarantee you, too, the guys, you always have to keep this in mind. Remember this. No matter how impressive you think what you're doing is I don't think the ladies are looking at you unless you're already the type of guy that ladies look at anyways. And you probably know that.
And it doesn't matter how much. This is the other thing that's crazy. And I've talked to my girlfriend about this. She's like, no matter how much you're lifting, the lifting between men and women is so different.
Yeah.
She has no idea what is heavy. Like, she doesn't even know. So if you think that you're doing something that's really impressive, my girlfriend would look at you and be like, is that like a lot of weight? Is that a little bit of weight? Like, that's a lot of weight for me. That's more than I can lift. But is that a strong guy? Is that a weak guy? They don't know. They don't know.
And they're probably they're not paying attention.
They don't care either.
No.
Like, it doesn't matter to them. So when you're in there peacocking, quit the peacocking. 2024, not the year to peacock.
You think what's a better strategy if you are trying to? Maybe you're single and you think the gym is your place. As a guy, do you then struggle more than you actually think you should to make it look like you're really lifting a lot?
Or does that make you look weak? I don't know.
Yeah, that's the
like
give
trying
and
to run
take.
fast. Like, nobody's looked cool running really fast on a treadmill.
Yeah, no.
Like, no one's been like, dang, look at that dude. He's running so fast. I want to take him
turn
home with me.
all the way.
I need to talk to him. That dude is running as fast as he can.
Wasn't that a great riot clip? While you're here, you should watch more of our videos and subscribe so you don't miss what we do next.